Are we live or not? There's no way to set it up where we were speaking, you know? Screw it. There we go. Good enough. There we go.
There we go.
2, 1. Okay. There you go. Guess we're live now. Okay. Here with Tim Green. We just we're talking about some crypto stuff. And we're like, why don't we go live and talk about this? So what are we talking about? Crypto what?
Crypto something I don't know anything about. I don't know about crypto. I know that much.
Crypto bot. The crypto bot.
Crypto bots. So yeah, thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure. You told me that you're looking at starting a new podcast, and it's a pleasure that I'm honored that you would think to invite me and have me on here. Thank you.
You're the first main person.
I'd love to be the one to kick this off. So yeah. To catch us up there, what we were just talking about crypto bots, and you know, I don't know much about them, but that is what sparked my whole idea a couple of years back. You know, I had worked all day long. I had gone to 6 different appointments, and I had made like $5,700 that day in sales that day. But I got home and I had seen the next day that everybody had made like $40,000 or $200,000 the day before because GameStop. The stocks for GameStop. That's what actually like really like set me off. That I was just like, man, I'm living life the wrong way. I'm making 6 figures. I'm doing good, making multiple 6 figures. Was doing good in life, but I didn't have a network. I didn't have a community. I didn't have a person. Not one person told me, send me a text and said, Tim, invest $5,000 into GameStop today. I would have put in $20,000 if I knew that we were GameStop and fighting the man, messing with the system. So it's like working 18 hours a day, making good money, but didn't have a tribe, didn't have a community. So ever since then, I just got this bug, this just an itch in my mind that, hey, I'm going to create like a weekly group and go and talk to people on that. That way, if something awesome like that happens again, then we have it. So what is this robot that you've got? You can trade the futures of crypto?
So it's going to trade crypto contracts. So it's going to be like I guess it's like futures and stuff. So, but I'm not going to let it do it automatically. I'm going to do it manually at first. I don't trust it like that. You know, the way I look at it though is, how long can the system go where everybody's winning before it just freaking crashes? Everybody can't win all the time. That's the thing I don't understand. If everybody's win, these AI bots, how can everybody always be winning?
That's why I've stayed away from crypto. You know, I
put a little bit in the contracts and let it build up with contracts. That's it. I'm gonna put a little bit in there and just gain. I'm not putting a lot.
I mean, you can make huge on those things. You can also lose huge on them too. But with the robots, like what you're talking about, supposedly with the AI, like it makes it foolproof. It makes it to where you can't lose big on those things. Because
you can't lose it all.
What's that?
I'm gonna set mine up where you can't. Once it starts to seem like it's gonna look like it's gonna lose, there's a stop loss and it automatically cuts it.
Yeah. So it sells automatically, so you can't lose. Hey, as soon as I've lost 15%, just cut bait and sell. We're done. Like that way, you're not losing 100% ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's genius. It's amazing. So I'd like to get.
How long can the system do that?
And so 100% escaping the 9 to 5, joining a club of people, finding a group of people to talk to that we can all share ideas on that. That's been a massive focus of mine for the last couple of years here now. So yeah, if anything you got like that, sign me up for it. I'll be the guinea pig once you get that created. So you just want to pass that out to people for free?
Yeah.
And you're going to do that for the first 10 people, first 100 people, or just for the first 1,000 people?
I don't know. Gotta see. To see how much it can take. I mean, it's just basically, I'm just going to send them a signal. So, hey, I'm all about scratching backs. Pay it forward, because it's going to come back one way or another.
Well, the entire idea right now, the big theme is to just charge $29 a month and do it for anything. Once you get 100 people paying $29 a month, you know, that's $3,000 a month. It's a good base. So just $29 a month. You get access to my robot. You get to 100 people overnight.
Oh yeah, especially when it's proven that it's winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I post about it on my Facebook, and that's immediately going to get 10 people sign up overnight.
I mean, what I would do is like $29 a month. But look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you your first trade. I'm gonna give you $50. Bet it and watch it.
Yeah. So there's one guy I knew that had huge success on it. He did something like that. You had to take like a course and a test, and so you could do it through the Go High Level stuff, the affiliate setup. But you can set up an account. They take a course, they watch a bunch of videos, then they have to go and take a test. At the end, if they pass the test, boom, you give them money to go and play with. And when the robots are set up the right way, like it can't lose money. So if I give you $5,000 in the system, I'm like, here, go and play with this. Go put the money where you want to play with the system. And that's your money to play with. The money you make, you get 20%. So on that one, he wants you to take the test, sign up, take the course, and then use the system like what you're talking about. He gives you $5,000. He goes out there and raises the money from the people, tells them, hey, I need $50,000. I'll give you 10% in return. And then has, these 20-year-old kids on Discord just sitting there using the robots and trading the crypto like what you're talking about. So I've met the people. I know that it exists. I've seen the results of it. I've talked to people that want to sell those businesses. So they've shown me.
But I wouldn't sell the bot. What I would do is I'd sell just the signals. So I'd have like a membership where I'd be like, okay, you'll be on Telegram or whatever it is, and it'll send you a signal saying, boop, all right, the signal says buy. Signal says sell.
That's what they're doing. I've met the people doing it, making ridiculous money. So the one guy turned $40,000 into $800,000 with it.
There's some scams too. There's a lot of scams.
And he wanted $10,000. So you're saying you just want to give it away to a couple of people. He was charging $10,000 for it. So he showed me the pictures. He showed me the proof of it and everything. Whether it's fake or not, the proof, as we call it in today's society, unfortunately. Who knows? So again, back to the roots of why I wanted to make my own weekly group meetup where we talk to people and we figure this stuff out. Everybody's getting scammed. That's what sucks about being a business owner. Number one, nobody wants to work. Nobody's any good. Nobody does their job. And the biggest problem, everybody's a scammer. It's hard to find quality marketers. You can't get a website made. You can't.
I built my own. It was hard to
anything. So it's just sad. So I've wanted to change this for years. I've been self-employed for over 10 years now. I first helped a guy quit his job, 12 years ago, I think now. Sitting there, convinced my buddy, you got to quit your job. You're really good at this. You can create your own business on your own. Like, to me, just the idea of having a 9-to-5 is just horrifying. So we got to help people get a job, get their own business, no matter what it is. If it's a roofing company, if it's a fencing company, a window cleaning company, heck, even a poop scooping company. So my nephew.
Like the AI is not gonna be able to take over all these robots. Like they're saying, like I was watching, it was CPAC that they were interviewing Mike Rowe, and he's like, they have all these millions and trillions of people that don't have jobs, whatever, they millions of dollars, but the problem is that they're paying, the government's paying for these people to go to school, to go to college, to get a degree for a job that doesn't exist.
So ridiculous. And yet there's so much that needs done. There's dirty windows all across this country.
Like the best thing, I was thinking about the other day, I was like, they have these automatic lawnmowers right now that you can set them up in the yard. So somebody goes by 5 lawnmowers. Set one lawn, next lawn. By the time you set the 5th one up, cut the grass, go back, weed eat, blow down, and pick up the lawnmower. You got 5 lawns cut that fast. And set those robots to each lawn. Just set it, forget it, go back, and all you gotta do is go back and weed eat, bro.
Lawn care business, man. Lawn care.
I don't want to get back in it.
Well, that's right. You had lawn care business.
That's what I started out with. Then I went to landscape, and then I went to irrigation. Then I owned a home and garden center, and then I went to pottery. So.
That's what my wife really wants. My wife really wants a nursery. She wants to sell trees. and rose bushes.
Let's
After
do it.
church on Sunday, she always wants to go to those places and spend 3
The
hours.
best, hey, the best markup money is pottery, imported pottery.
Yeah,
It's about a 700% markup.
I'm telling you, those $5,000 big giant elephants. They're made the big giant stones, and they shoot the water out of the elephant's trunk.
They're about $350.
Yeah, every single time I'm going around those places, and we look at those things. You know, my wife is from Mexico. We'll go back to Mexico. Oh my God, when I saw the prices of all those things, oh man.
I used to get about truckloads.
Every single time. Like we went there and I was just like foaming at the mouth at the amount of money. I'm just like, I just want to get like 10, 18 wheelers and just, I need to get a loan for $1 million. I need to just come buy this entire.
The only thing I see with like the Mexican pottery, I started getting away from that because people want that like Indonesian pottery, that shiny pottery, it's more durable. That Mexican pottery, dude, if you don't get rid of it quick, or you start putting sealer on it while you got it, it breaks.
The red one?
I would get 18 wheelers. The 18 wheeler would come in so fast that you couldn't put your hand in the 18 wheeler.
Oh, the one I liked was the cow hides, the big giant cow hides and the big giant bull horns. And those bull horns, they'll be like $1,500 here in America. They're like
$18. $18.
$80, yeah.
Like the chimeneas, chimeneas you put a fire in, the little chimney things.
Yeah.
So they sell for like $225. They're like $16. But by the time you pay, you gotta have an import license. You gotta pay import tax. Now tariffs. Now shipping. The truck comes to Mexico. It's got to switch truck drive. And then when the truck got to my location, now we're talking a 53-foot trailer. I had to have it unloaded in 2 hours.
Oh, you actually did that. You imported stuff from Mexico.
Yeah, from Guadalajara.
Wow. That is awesome.
2 hours to get off the truck is impossible.
And why? Why did you have to get off the truck in 2 hours?
If not, because you got to get back. If not, it's like $500 an hour. So I'm busting ass, and he tells me that don't take the cardboard off, right? Now cardboard is in between every single freaking piece. So I'm in the truck, two guys, and it's me and one other guy in the truck, and we're unloading, just getting out the truck into my warehouse. And I'm thinking like I'm halfway through. Man, I'm not even a quarter way through this thing. So I'm putting all the cardboard in the trailer, and I'm like fighting this cardboard. And then he comes back there, I'm almost done. He's like, why don't you push all the cardboard out the truck? I'm like, you told me to leave it in here. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to leave it in the truck. I'm like, dude, I was fighting that cardboard more than anything. We had a pile of cardboard. It looked like a mountain in my warehouse. And then I'm like, dude, I was so exhausted. 6 hours doing this. Get to the front of the trailer, it's the heaviest pots. It's the last one to take out. I'm like, dude, I'm about to die.
That's funny. That's interesting. Yeah, I've always
like Indonesian pots, dude. Indonesian pots, I don't know about shipping there, but you get like 1,000 pots for like, I don't know, $11,000.
Then you gotta sell them all.
Dude, how many houses have you ever been to that don't have a pot?
Way too many. That's way too many.
Everybody got a pot. They sell fast, and you can think, dude, they sell so fast, you can't keep them in.
It's too funny. Too funny. So you've done a lot in the lawn care, the outdoor stuff, irrigation, landscaping. That's amazing.
Subsurface drainage.
That is one heck of a safe bet for acquisition. So for everything I'm about, it's all about acquisitions. You know, I've done a lot in real estate. We flipped a lot of houses. Now we want to flip businesses. We want to buy businesses and scale them. And I would love to spend an hour. I could spend an hour talking about that. But the math on it, for the people that are big on just the math, you know, explaining real estate and crunching the numbers on it and why real estate is 10 times better than stock market. For anybody that's a big statistics, big analytical type kind of guy, it's mind-blowing. Real estate is so much better than the stock market. But when you compare real estate to business acquisitions, it's the same thing over and over again. It's business acquisitions is 10 times better than real estate. And I think the lawn care, the irrigation, anything that has to do with that stuff is definitely one of the safest bets out there right now. Most lawn care companies are being ran like a 1995 company. no automations, no AI. Their websites are horrible. Pull up 100 different lawn care companies right now. 90 of them are going to have a horrible looking website. It's insane to me. It's
90% of them are going to have a website at all.
Barely, right? 90 don't even have a website. And then 9 out of 10 that do have a website is bad. So to me, it's like lawn care is like, it's just money to me. I mean, the money signs are everywhere in it. To be able to go out and buy one, bring in new implement new automations to it, bring in new marketing, better systems, and then like you're talking about the AI stuff. I talked to a guy the other day. He wants $1 billion to go to market with this thing that has sensors. So you take the sensors and you plug it in somebody's ground, and those sensors upload to the system, and it'll turn their water on for them or not. And that way the client doesn't have to go in the garage and tell the thingy more water or less water. So it's completely automated, perfect watering, and then the guy that mows their yard gets the report. And so then he gets the report and he'll send the text message. So he's like, so I did this for my clients. He wants to go big and sell this everywhere across the whole country. But he's like, I'll text them and say, hey, we adjusted this. Your grass was getting watered too much. We turned it down a little bit. We'll be out there to mow the yard in 2 days. Like he has all this stuff.
Or you do it automated.
Yeah, it's all automated.
I can do it automated.
And so it's just I mean, that right there, to think whoever automates lawn care and takes that first. I mean, as a business advisor, talking to these business owners, it's crazy how many times I hear I'm the next Uber, but it's like I'm the next Uber of lawn care. I'm the next Uber of roofing. I hear it like on a monthly basis, probably 10 times a month. But that guy right there, he's got a good point, man. Whoever automates lawn care and brings AI into it, brings five.
I think the biggest thing is put them all as one company. Like go in there and say, okay, lawn care, irrigation, drainage, everything, make it all one company. Because right around me, there's so many. You have your big companies, but then you have so many of these companies that have 100 lawns. Like go in there and just say, you know what, give me your lawns, give me your lawns. You just put them all together. The problem with buying a lawn care company though is you really don't buy the customers because you're buying them on like a percentage. That's about it. Because who said they're going to stay with you? And they're like, oh, they're in contract. A contract means absolutely nothing in lawn care. I mean, really, you want me to give you a piece of paper to sign it? Okay, sign it if you feel better. But there's no contract in lawn care.
That's why one of the things I was reading was saying to go for commercial over residential, because put yourself in the client's shoes, right? If you take 100 John and Marys and they get a letter in the mail that says, hey, congratulations, your lawnmower bill is going to go from $49.99 a month to $59.99 a month. We're a brand new company. We're under new management. Get ready for all the new exciting changes coming. Good luck. You're going to lose probably 30%.
That's why you go up $1 or $2 and that's it. You got to go up a little bit slow at a time.
So don't go up at all. And just say, we're under new management, $49.99 a month. We're still saying the same. You're still going to lose probably 5% of your client base just for changing.
Oh, yeah.
But flip it over to commercial. Apparently, there's zero emotions involved at all. It's like, hey, owner of the local burger franchise, we mow your yard every week. We're under new management. Like the owner of McDonald's or Burger King, that, the owner of the local car dealership, the car dealership, they pay $300 a month. They're not going to cancel. They need their yard mowed. They don't have time to worry about it. Like you don't even need to send them a letter in the mail practically, but if you do, it's no big deal. So commercial accounts, apparently way better retention rates whenever the business sells.
So they just need a lawn grass. They just need a cut. They just need it done, cut, done. These homeowners are like, oh, I'm so particular about it. I mean, look, I used to be in a business, and it's like I would see these people's yard, and I'm like, how are these people paying for this crappy ass work? Well, I've been with them so long. I'm like, are you shitting me? So if you go get your hair cut and they do a bad job, you're staying with them because you've been with them so long? Hell no. I'm getting the hell out of there. And if you do a bad job, I'm not going to keep paying you to do a bad job because I've been with you so long. You should be even doing better since I've been with you so long.
Our lawnmower guy was terrible, but he was always so nice. My wife did not want to cancel. I'm like, I'm sorry, this guy is horrible. He was out there with the fertilizer with his hand, just scooping it out with his hand and just throwing it. It's like when the grass starts growing, it's like you can just see this little, looks like waves of little green things. It's like, yeah.
That's why I want to come. I was going to come over to a company called See You in 6 months, because I go get these estimates and they're like to do drainage or irrigation. Well, my lawn guy said he could do the irrigation or drainage. I feel like saying I'll see you in 6 months, because 6 months from now, when after you did your lawn guy did your drainage and used Home Depot stuff and didn't know really what, but he YouTubed the video how to do it. 6 months from now, I'll see you to come rip it all out and redo it the right way. So my company's called See You in 6 months. I'll see you in 6 months.
You're gonna name that your company?
I would love to, because I mean, how many people I heard that from? And then 6 months later, they call me. It's gonna be less now, right? I'm like, no, it's gonna be more now because they're gonna rip his crap out.
I would want to close them right now, though. I don't want to see them in 6 months.
No, I'm just saying. They're like, oh, my lawn guy said he could do it. I'm like, oh yeah, what did you do? Cut grass? You gonna do drainage, huh? Okay, YouTube, huh?
So on those ones, I don't know. So on that one, I always just kind of laugh about it. So they're like, yeah, well, the other guy said he could do it for this and that. And she's like, yeah. So I'll kind of do something like that. And I kind of want to play it off like just a little chuckle and like a little small delay. And it's just like, and of course, like that obviously wasn't going to be the right option, was it? Like something like that. So I don't say much. I don't try to argue. I don't try to sell. I'm just like, oh, yeah.
I don't either.
That obviously wasn't going to be the right way to go. I
love the best one to say, well, this guy beat your price. I'm like, well, well, I gave him your estimate. Well, I guess so. You gave him everything, my estimate. So now I don't even break down estimates like I used to. Because when I broke them down, they're going to go, hey, this guy, the estimate, he don't got to do no work. I done found the materials, say how much material I need. Yeah, I could beat anybody's price. Anybody could beat a price. Really? I don't know. Anybody could beat anybody's price. If I lose money just to get a job to beat their price, I'm going to do it.
I just make it. I don't even combat them. I don't argue on it. If they're talking in the price, like I make it just so nonchalant. I'm just like, yeah, of course you could. But we're clearly not doing that. That's definitely not what you want. Like I'll do things like that. Like it's just like obviously there's a reason I'm here. There's a reason they're not. Like that. You definitely didn't want that one. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that guy was so cheap. Ooh. That would have been scary going with him. Who knows what you would have wanted? Who knows what news stations you ended up on with that guy? That one that was my favorite quote right there.
That's why I give him the 3 words. You got it: cheap, good, and fast. Which one you want? You can only get 2 of them. You can have it cheap and fast. It ain't gonna be good. You can have it good and fast. It ain't gonna be cheap. Which one you want? I mean, you gotta pick 2. Can't have all 3.
That's what
nobody want it cheap and fast.
That's what's always weird with gutters. I can't tell you how many times I've got a job going in tomorrow for a couple $1,000s, and I know it's got to be like a 60-minute job because it's such an easy job. There's no corners on it. It's not up high. It's all real low, and he's got to knock it out in 1 hour, and it's like $3,800, and it's so funny. Every single time they're just like, "Whew!" It's like. I found out the customer's comfort level is $1,000 an hour. Like if you've got a $10,000 job and you're there for 10 hours, like that's okay. Like at $10,000, if you're only there for like 3 hours, it's like they start getting a little tense. So sometimes you got to tell the installers, it's like, hey, take it easy at this job. Like we're in no rush. This is an hour-long job. Set your tools.
Yeah, pay this much. I'm like, wait a minute. So if I work slower, same quality of job, you've been okay with it. I'll work slower next time.
We're slow. Because we got that big giant 12-hour job tomorrow, and need you to put that in like 8 hours. You're gonna do 10 times as much work tomorrow and twice as much hours. Yeah, but yeah, this tiny job here today, man, take it slow, because that is a problem. You can do it too. You can fix it too fast and too easy for them. Well, that was easy. I'm getting ripped off here.
So what did you say? You want to talk about the database, the acquisitions?
What's that? The acquisitions database? What about it? The acquisitions database? What was that?
Yeah. Talking about earlier.
Just what about it in general? I do have a new database that is something that should fix a lot of the problems for acquisition. So I've done a ton for real estate and then helping people scale the businesses. But the last couple of years have been focusing a lot on how do we acquire businesses. So we want to go out and buy businesses. And for me in my buy box personally, I want to buy a business that's doing somewhere between $3 to $10 million of gross revenue. Because your average business has got to be 20% net volume. So at $3 million, he's doing $600,000. Anything less than
now you want the businesses that are already for sale?
Yep, to buy a business. Yeah,
No, I'm saying, are they already for sale, or are you going to, like, you just going up to a business saying, hey, you want to sell?
No, we don't want them if they're already for sale. If they're already for sale, then we don't want it. It's no different than real estate. If I want to buy a real estate house to rent out for profit, I don't want to go to the MLS.
Oh, no.
The MLS is where you go to buy your dream home or where other people go buy it there. I don't want to buy a house off the MLS at all, period. Businesses, no different. So I spent the first 2 years of business acquisitions just calling up business brokers. Before it dawned on me, you know what? I've flipped over 100 houses, and I would never in my right mind go to the MLS to go and buy a house and call up realtors. So why am I doing what these stinking gurus taught me to? Well, the problem, I'll tell you what, I paid a guy $5,000, and I'm like, how do I learn? How do I go buy businesses? Here's $5,000. And he said, well, you call business brokers, and you told me you want to buy a business. That was $5,000 wasted. That was not a very good.
You buy it with your own money, or you taking loans, like bank loans?
Yeah, he said just use it with bank loans. That was not good money spent, for sure. But the concept, use other people's money. The concept using other people's money for business acquisitions, you're not going to get like I can go and get a $50,000 trailer using other people's money, and I can flip it, put $10,000 into it, and sell it for $100,000, and make $40,000, and give the investor like $10,000, and everybody's happy, right? With a business, I can't buy an ugly, messed up, dilapidated problem of a business using other people's money. But what I can do is I can buy a loaded out Taj Mahal, fully loaded 5-star resort using other people's money in businesses. It's easier to buy a $100 million business using other people's money than it is to buy $1 million business using other people's money. So, but regardless, we don't want to go to the market at all. What we want to do is go and find the business owner directly. And so for 6 years now, I was saying 4 years the other day, and I realized, holy crap, it's 6 years now, officially. 2019, October 2019 is when I placed my first LOI to buy a business. So it's almost 6 years now I've been looking at buying businesses and teaching people this. So regardless, in the beginning, it was always just me picking up the phone between going to appointments. But on the day that GameStop, everybody became overnight sensations on GameStop, I was calling business owners between appointments, going out there and selling clients home remodeling. And in between appointments, I'm calling people, hey, I want to buy a roofing company. Hey, I want to buy a roofing company. And 98% of the time you're getting the secretary. So you're just calling the local business. I was calling nurseries. My wife wants to own a nursery. That's her dream. She wants to sit around and just water the plants all day. She wants to hold a garden hose and just water 500 trees a day. That's her dream job.
Let's do it. I even came up with a watering system for it where everything waters from the bottom.
What your mic cut out a little bit again.
I even came up with this watering system when I had my home and garden center where it comes on timers and waters through trays underneath the bottom.
And watered automatically? I told her that's what we'd have to do. And she's like, well, that's no fun.
Not from the top, from the bottom.
From the bottom, underneath. Absolutely. Well, that would be the dream right there. I told her, it's like, we get the big giant nursery, and then we have all the patios and pergolas and outdoor kitchens, and we have like a little sign. This setup would be $35,000.
I used to do that in mine. I set up mine in my shop where what it would look like at your house.
Yeah, $35,000 estimated price. Without the furniture, without the kitchen, without the grill, $18,000. If all you want is just this patio, boom, 4 poles and the concrete slab. And so
I got the hookup on all that. I got the hookup on all that stuff too.
Did you really? That would be the dream for me. I have that nursery like that, and then I'd go out there and do that. Absolutely, that'd be fun.
Where you live in Austin?
I live in Austin. Yep. Down in Austin. So running between appointments, selling people to outdoor jobs, and trying to find a business to own. The idea of starting a business, pure torture, to launch a company out of thin air and immediately within 30 days make 20 grand in a month is almost impossible. I know hundreds of roofers that make 500, 800, even $1 million a year. But how many of them made $20,000 in roofing their first month owning a roofing company? I don't know. Like as a sales guy, you could maybe go do it as a salesman. I've made 20 grand in my first month for a couple different sales companies.
I did in my roofing company.
I don't know anybody that's ever just made 20 grand first month opening a business. A painter. A fence. You have?
Well, my roofing company, I was selling the roofs, I was nailing the roofs, and I had a crew, but it was after Katrina had hit, right when it hit.
After Katrina. That doesn't count. That's emergency. But yeah, other than that stuff, I mean, to go out and get the license, weeks, months, to get the EIN, to get the business bank account, to get the CRM set up, to get the business's phone number. It's like the website. You're probably going to have to find 5 different people to get the website done. You're going to pay $1,500 to this guy, $1,500 to that guy, and you're like, screw it, I'll pay $5 grand. Then you pay $5 grand to somebody, and he does a worse job than the guy $1,500 did. So then you got to find the 4th guy, and you pay him $500, and he does the best job out of everybody. It's like, golly, I should just use him. And then all of a sudden the website breaks, and you call him up, and then like he got arrested in his third world country for some reason. It's like that's the experience of being a business owner in the first 30 days.
That's blue collar businesses. That's blue collar business right there.
It's horrible.
That's the epitome of it.
I've been through it dozens of times. Everybody I know has been through it. And then it's like, okay, so I don't want to do it anymore. Let's get a business partner. So you get a business partner, then your business partner steals from you or does something stupid or gets arrested for getting in a bar fight. Like my first business partner we started the patio company, Mike. It was amazing, man. I sold 5 patios for 20 grand in the first 30 days. I honestly we were looking at making like 50 grand the first month. Everything's good. Everything's great. He comes home. He was a cop for 25 years and before he got into sales. And so we started this patio company together. He comes over, he sees this vehicle in his driveway, and he's like, I recognize that. And it was one of his old cop buddies. And then he's like, why would he be here right now? So he sneaks around and he peeks into his room, and there him and his wife are. So he jumps off the roof in a raging fit and just jumps off the roof and breaks his leg in half jumping off the roof. So then they come out there, and she's wrapped in a towel. He's screaming Bloody Mary because he broke his leg, and the other dude's trying to help him up, and he's like trying to fight him. It's like, golly. So yeah, so he got in trouble. He ended up taking all the money out of the account, and man, I was stuck there with 5 patio jobs half built and all the money gone. Golly. So the business partner's just no good. The market, so everything stinks. So it's like, all right, how do we do this the right way? We have to find our own crew. We got to find a tribe. We got to meet weekly. We got to find a guy that's a marketer. We got to find a guy that's a good accountant. We got to find the guy that's been like you, that's been around forever and imported stuff from Mexico. Like, that's awesome. We'll just talk about our problems once a week. Meet up and figure this stuff out. So I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and oh my God, how far I've come the last couple of years. Still learning daily, still learn every single week, every meeting. I always try to bring in a business broker or a loan officer or somebody that's been doing something for 20 years that's related to entrepreneurship, and get really good experience in there. And so what we've learned now, we have this database. And so that was the question that you asked 10 minutes ago, the database. And now that we're caught up to it, we've got a database of every single business owner in the entire country now. And instead of having to, we lost Mike.
I'm here.
You're there. I lost your video. I don't see your face anymore. It's just my ugly face.
I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
Now I'm zoomed in. Now you can really see that I need to shave, Mike. I told you I might need to shave before we go on the podcast here today. It's been a while. My wife is trying to see how long I can go without cutting. I don't know.
Hey, I think you and Jason started to look like y'all gonna get arrested for freaking terrorists.
I really don't know. No, absolutely not. I'm gonna go for Mormon look or something. I don't know. I just started growing it a couple months ago. It's been like 2 or 3 months now. And she's like, "Are you gonna go like Duck Dynasty?" And I'm like, "I probably
I
can."
can't do it, dude. I can't. It just drives me crazy. I can't do it. I can't have that stuff on my face. It drives me insane on my face like that.
Well, it hides how ugly I am. I will tell you that much, man. It's like makeup
So you
for a
think that makes
woman.
you look better? You think that makes you look better?
No, probably makes me look like a terrorist, like you're saying. I thought we said we couldn't say any outlandish stuff in here.
Like you're like your Oklahoma City bomber or something.
I look like the Utah Mormons, man. The guy. Did you watch that movie on Netflix? That show on Netflix with the Mormons? You did?
Yeah, it's freaking. It's freaking nuts.
Man, that was a good one. I don't remember the name. Primerica. Isn't that the name of an insurance company? Primerica?
Yeah, it is. That made
It
look
is?
at that. What's the coincidence of that?
That was a really good miniseries. I
What's the
love
name of
that.
that one in Texas? What's the name of the one in Texas? Waco? What's it called?
Oh, that's such
Yeah,
a
what's it
bad day
called?
for me. You know, I was 6 years old that day, and that was my sister's
What's the name of
birthday.
no? No, it's not Waco. What's the name of the one in Texas that has they had the freaking whole
Navy
compound?
Crash Waco. I don't know the
That's
name of
what
the
it's called.
Netflix documentary. There's been 10 of them by now.
Freaking crazy.
There's been a bunch.
And look, that stuff still happens today everywhere. They still
Happened
got
to my
that stuff going
sister's
on.
birthday, man.
You what?
That happened to my sister's birthday.
You know what happened on my
Saturday.
birthday? January 6th.
That
Insurrection. Ah!
was a pretty terrible day.
No, it wasn't. It was nothing wrong with
Pretty
that.
terrible day.
What's crazy is that what you hear, what you hear is this crazy noise they talking today about the violence they talking to go do today. The other side. It's like, wait a minute, what? You're gonna cut his head off. You go to jail. You say that kind of stuff normally.
Not if it's against Trump. You're allowed to say whatever you want against Trump.
Exactly. Let the right say stuff like that. Here we go. Oh my goodness
I
gracious.
can't imagine a right conservative like Joe Rogan. Can you imagine Joe Rogan saying somebody needs to go and shoot Joe Biden?
He would be freaking he would be ended.
Wouldn't be allowed. Joe Rogan would never say that. You can't say stuff like that, man.
I mean, I don't know. Have you been hearing all the stuff that they've been saying over there, the AID and all that stuff? Like all of them, all the senators and all that, the stuff that they're saying is like, y'all are saying you're going to do violence, and that's what y'all are telling people to go do it. Or that girl that said that one girl that's going to go to jail because she said she will pay somebody to go shoot him, and if they go to jail, she'll write them letters and she'll put money on the books. That's paid for. That's a hit for. That's higher for hit. The federal offense.
And because it's against the president, that should be treason, no? That's treason, which is supposed to be executed for treason.
Louisiana, look, we got an execution coming up next week.
Like if I'm the department, do we really?
In Louisiana, 2 of them back to back.
Crazy. I mean that is treason. You are supposed to be executed for that, according to the Constitution. So
when I was a kid, you couldn't burn an American flag. It blows my mind. It's like, okay, if it's so bad here and you want to go to Palestine, okay, I support you. Go to Palestine and see if they'll help you out of there. Yeah, right.
They won't.
They're not going to do it.
They won't. Yeah.
All the ones that say, "I'm leaving if he wins president." Well, why are you still here? You've been here for 6 years?
No good. That's sad what's going on out there, man. Heartbreaking.
Crazy. What's crazy to me is, this is the only thing that's crazy to me is that, they're not saying that they're disgusted with the amount of wasted money. They're saying Elon Musk doesn't have the right to go in and audit them. Wait. You got it backwards. So you don't care about them wasting money. You just care about, because Elon's not an elected official. Well, 90% of people in there aren't elected officials. And all he's doing is an audit. He don't want your freaking social security number. What's he going to do with that? He's going to take your identity? Well, if Elon Musk wants to steal my identity, take it, please. Do something with it. I mean, if you want to take my identity, I can only imagine what you can do for me.
Ain't he the weirdest billionaire ever?
But why would you want anybody to
I think him and I got the same autistic whatever thing, man. I think whatever's wrong with him, I think I might have the same old thing as him.
Something's wrong with him, dude. I want that to be wrong with me.
I think we have the same thing. I think so. He's definitely unique. We got a lot of personal characteristics. I wish I had a billionaire for a dad that was
He's got a lot of kids.
He's a freak too. I just found out Elon Musk's dad impregnated his stepdaughter. They're having their second kid together.
What?
He raised her from the time she was 4 or 5 years old, and then at 22 years old, now they're together. Because she was his ex-wife's daughter from a previous marriage. So he was his stepdad.
To each their own.
That's Elon Musk's dad, the guy that's a billionaire. He just now had a baby with his stepdaughter. But Elon Musk will tell you, I don't talk to him. I have nothing to do with that guy. Don't like him.
I don't think he talks to anybody. When does he have time?
He works 120 hours a week. So yeah,
That's what I
got this database. Oh yeah,
what was 8 hours of sleep. When I hear people say, "Oh, I have to have 8 hours of sleep," I'm like, and they tell me I'm not like you. I'm like, what do you mean you're not like? You think I woke up, came out of my mom, and I just woke? I only need 4 hours. No, I've over time just I only need. Sometimes I don't even need sleep. 3 or 4 hours, I'm good. But I have adrenaline disorder too, so it's different. But it's they say, okay, I need more sleep. Well, if you get more sleep when you wake up, you're tired, or you're not eating enough. You need more energy. No, huh?
Ever slept like 9 or 10 hours and had a very productive day?
You have?
Me? Never. If I sleep 9 or 10 hours, I feel lazy that day.
I am drained as hell the next day.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't feel like working. I'm just going to sit around for today. We'll just have a rest day. I got a good night of sleep. I'll just rest. Now, if I get 4 hours of sleep, man, I'm just burning the next, 4 hours of sleep. I'm like, every phone call I make is just money. Everybody says yes. Deals just happen. Just robotic.
I slept 45 minutes last night. Because Saturday I slept 6 hours. So it's like, I don't need that. I mean, it's like.
That's alarming. You got to sleep 4 hours a night minimum.
If I don't have to. My body I don't need it. I
You
try.
need it.
I'll lay in bed and go,
Your kidneys need it. Your liver needs it.
They'll be all right.
No, they're not. They're weak. They're weak. Them kidneys and liver, they're not too strong.
They pumping. They strong as a ox.
That's too funny. Well, yeah, we got this database. The business owners, every business owner in the country now, millions of them. We have their cell phone. We have their personal email address. So we have their information about their business. So we've always had that. We've always had the business's amount of employees and revenue, their company number and everything. But we had to call the secretary and tell the secretary, hey, we're interested in buying the business. And less than 5% response rate. Now I can make 50 phone calls and talk to 5 business owners in a day, and that's how I get by.
Now, how do you go about? Okay, so you go in there. And they say yes. Do you go in there and do an evaluation of their company, or you hire somebody to go in there and look at all their books and look at all their?
Yeah, I have an accountant, so they can go to an accountant and get it appraised. It's a couple $1,000s. I can send them to one guy, he's $2,500. I send them to another guy, he's $4,000. So I just tell them, hey, pick whoever you want. There's 2 people. If you want to use somebody else, use them.
What happens if they fake in the books?
Huh?
What happens if they fake in the books?
Like every single time.
Like what if it's like over exaggerated so much that you go buy a company, it's like, holy shit, whoa.
It's like almost every single time. That's why I want to use their own people. So when it's their own people, it's at the point now I can tell when they're fake immediately. Within 1 second. I can just look at the papers and I'm like, these aren't real. Just because the numbers. So I spoke to an IRS auditor one time. I had it as a client. And it's been a couple hours. They're actually a client for a bathroom remodel. Did like a $30,000 bathroom remodel for them. And so I spent like 3.5, 5 hours with this lady. And she's an IRS auditor. And I actually talked a lot about like how they audit and stuff. And she's like, well, the number one thing is if like any number ends in the number 1 or 3, like that's a massive red flag. Because most numbers naturally end in 9, 0, or 5. So it's like your thing that costs $19.99 after 8% tax, like it comes out to be like, you know, $20.50 or 55 cents or whatever. It's like never going to come out to like you bought something for $19.99 and it comes out for like $21.81. So like if it ends in the number 1, it's just like that's just a dead giveaway almost every time. Like nothing ever ends in the number 1.
Crazy.
Statistically speaking. It's like, okay, interesting. So for some reason, like when the books are cooked, like there's just like ones everywhere. So if it's like we spent on marketing $801, it's like, okay, that's weird.
They didn't want to be even because they didn't want to be obvious because it was even.
So it should be there's 9s, 5s, 0s, and 6s everywhere apparently. And then I forgot what the other numbers were, but it's like there's actual system on it. So now they just have AI. They can just tell by how many numbers, you know, statistically speaking, 60% are going to end in the number 9 or whatever it is. And 13%.
Like Home Depot uses 97 for Home Depot is like 97, 97, 97. Not 97, 1997.
So if your stuff is completely wrong, then it's cooked. But regardless, just knowing the stuff. So that's why I want to build a team. I do not want to be a lone wolf as the only guy that sells the businesses. I want an expert this is our accounting guy. Like this is a very good accounting guy. I need an expert that this guy has a background in marketing and websites and internet and all that. But then on top of that, we also want to experience this guy's like logistics. So this guy knows trucking, freights, manufacturing, shipping, and just everything that has to do with just moving parts around and storing them. And then you've got me that's the background in sales and the leadership and the business building blocks itself. So we should have all these different specialists of a team that goes out and gets these listings, and then we go and sell them together. Think that right there, that's kind of what we want. We want many different specialists. So got to get that built out. Got to find those missing pieces still. Definitely.
Are you aiming for certain companies?
I like home services. That's what I aim for. So I know roofing and pest control and lawn care companies. If you ask me to look at the books of like a tech company out of San Francisco, it could be fake, and I want to know anything about it. I don't know a thing about tech in San Francisco. But if you show me the books from a lawn care company in Florida, and he says I made $1.3 million last year, and I made $483,000, and I spent $2,000 on marketing, and I spent $4,000 on gas, it's like, no, you didn't. You're a liar. And I know that in 2 seconds. So I know what it is in lawn care. I know roofing. I know those kind of books. So that's what I'm sticking with. We want home services. So I have a database of every lawn care company owner in the entire country. I got them all ready. I've started emailing them. We texted 275 yesterday. Lawn care throughout Texas, 275. Got 2 of them back that said, yeah, I want to sell my business. One guy said 10 million. I think I could move it from maybe 6 to 8. One guy said I'd take 2.5 million for it. I would gladly give him 1.2, 1.5. So,
you know, something that, you know what a business to add to these lawn companies and all that stuff that nobody does is, so when you go put mulch in people's yard, right? You kind of gotta estimate the bags, right?
Yeah.
This is actually you make it like you just build this truck out. You get a dump truck with a vacuum on the front of it, a reverse vacuum, sucks it out with a hose. You walk through the garden and you blow it into the garden. And it counts it as it's going in, so you have exactly how much you're putting in the yard, right on the bill, boom, there you go. And then when it goes to start fading, if they don't want to get new mulch, you have that same truck can go through there and spray it with a environmentally safe, plant safe, but it has fertilizer and bug poison on it. You spray a dye on the mulch and you re-dye it, but then you're also fertilizing plants and spraying for bugs all at once.
So you're vacuuming up the old mulch?
No. You're just taking the new mulch out the truck and you're just blowing it in with a hose, like a big old like hose. And you're like blowing it underneath the bushes so you ain't got to get down, and it counts it as it's coming out, so you know exactly how much you got.
I was
And
wondering
the job only takes 4 hours. A 4 or 5 hour job now only takes 20 minutes. One guy.
how is it making the time efficiency go up that much?
Because instead of having to go get the bags, come to the job, unload the bags, open the bags, dump the bags, spread it out with your hand, all you're doing is you're pulling out the hose and it's flipping a switch, and that one guy is going between every single bush and just blowing it. And that's it, done.
How do you turn it off?
There's a switch on the thing.
Can you imagine them like blasting everywhere, having to run back to the truck to turn it off? Go sweep up all the debris spilled everywhere.
But then you have no waste. You have no time to be doing it. You know exactly how much. And if the people don't want to get new mulch because they don't want to spend that extra money, then you can come in and just dye it. But then you also can charge them for bug spray.